Hey Ravens fans, I'm Ryan Mink of BaltimoreRavens.com. It's time for this week's edition of the Flock Mailbag, and as you can tell, Garrett Downing's a huge slacker. He's on vacation with his family, so I'm going to have to fly solo, and we've changed it up a little bit. We're in a different location, but that will not stop me from answering your questions, so let's get right into it. First from Steph. Regarding bounties, should Ravens fans be concerned for their team? You know, Steph, I really don't think that you have to be too worried about this, and I really gauged that off the answers I got from Steve Bisciotti and John Harbaugh at the owners' meetings. Steve Bisciotti said the bounties were despicable, and John Harbaugh said that he really thought the NFL did a good job and did the right thing with such harsh punishments against the Saints. So really, this investigation has gone on with Greg Williams, and they've kind of hashed that whole thing out, and it still continues. And the NFL said that they'll still look for bounties moving forward, but I don't think that they're really looking for other instances in the past of other teams having problems. So gauging from the Ravens' reactions, I think that you can sleep well. On to the second question from Richie. Richie asks, with the new reviews of turnovers, should we expect 5-hour-long games? Well, let's hope not, Richie, because that would be incredibly long. But I don't think that this is really going to have much of an impact. The rule change was that now on any turnover, the booth official can automatically review the play if they determine that it is reviewable, if it needs to be looked at. Kind of like what they did last year with touchdowns. If a touchdown was ruled, it could automatically be looked at upstairs. Now, I don't think that this is going to lengthen the game, and this is the way the NFL feels, is that anytime there's automatically a dead ball, if the clock is stopped, they really don't see the replay as adding any more time. So last year with the touchdowns thing, it really, after the whole season was done, they went back and looked at it. It only added 1 second to each game. So that's pretty incredible. And really the thing is, they fear that if there's a turnover and then they go to commercial break and they come back from commercial break and then the coach throws the challenge flag, then you've really taken a lot of time. But if the clock's already stopped, it's not really a big difference. On to our last question. This one comes from Freddie, and he asks, is there any chance we trade down in the NFL draft? Call it a gut reaction, a gut feeling for me, but I actually feel like this is becoming more and more of a possibility for the Ravens. And the reason being that I just don't think that there's a player that the Ravens absolutely need at number 29. You look at their needs right now, and really it's only at guard. Left guard is really the only remaining spot where you say that's a big hole. And the reason being because they feel like Paul Kruger can step in for Jarrett Johnson at outside linebacker. They really like Pernell McPhee and Art Jones to step in for Corey Redding. So really it's just filling Ben Grubbs' spot. And I don't really see a guard being there for the Ravens at number 29 at that spot. David DeCastro and Cordy Glenn are both projected to go before them. So if you're sitting there at 29, the guards are off the board, and you say, I don't really have a specific need, the Ravens could very well say, and they love to do this, they love to pick up extra picks. They could say, let's move back into the early second round. Look at a wide receiver then, look at a linebacker, look at a safety, look at an offensive lineman, and really get more value from that pick with picking up extra picks as well. So I think that is something to watch for in April's draft. So that's it for this week's edition of the Flock Mailbag. Keep it locked here on BaltimoreRavens.com, and don't forget to submit questions at Facebook.com/Baltimore Ravens. And if we didn't get to yours, also hit us up on Twitter @Ravens. So keep it here on BaltimoreRavens.com.